You're watching the Coaches Roundtable on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Welcome to the Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi. Welcome our guest, our two-time Mount Athlete of the Year out of Knock High School, University of Arizona, the Knock Nest Monster, Jordan Geist. Jordan, great to have you on. It's hard to believe you're a junior now at Arizona. Is it just me, or is this time just flown by for you?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a blast, especially with COVID. Everything seems to be accelerating at an unusual pace. It was exciting to get back this year, and it really flew by.
Hey Jordan, let me ask you. You mentioned COVID. The past year, the 2020 season, lost to COVID, and then you got COVID yourself in December at the end of the year. Uh, how hard was your recovery coming from that? How sick were you?
So it wasn't even the sickness that was the tough part to overcome for me. It was just the time off that I had to take. So I got it right before Christmas break. So that was a week off from training right before I left to come back to Pennsylvania. And then whenever I came back, it was 2 weeks kind of on my own, just doing training. Um, and that's not really the way you want to pick up a season again. So really, it was like having 3 weeks of losing timing, basically. So whenever I came back out in January, it was like restarting the whole season all over. And then I spent all of indoor season and most of outdoor season just trying to find that timing again. And it seems now with Pac-12s and NCAAs, I'm finally starting to get back into a rhythm and finally starting to be able to uh, hit a peak almost. And I have the trials on this Friday, so hopefully I can just get that little bit of timing matched up before then.
Hey Jordan, correct me if I'm wrong, but the NCAA gave everyone an extra year. It's your junior, so this leaves you with what, 3 more years that you could compete, or is it two?
So athletically, this was my junior year, and everyone gets one indoor. They granted that eligibility back. I've already talked to the University of Arizona. They're going to grant me that eligibility as well with the scholarship. So I'll have all of next year and another indoor season after this year.
Okay, great. Let's go. You started off great there. You were the Pac-12 freshman field athlete of the year, and now let's go. Your road to recovery. You're making that comeback. It looks to me like you've bulked up. You're a lot bigger. What's been the difference in your size and development from your freshman year to now?
Freshman year to now, I've gotten obviously a lot stronger. But then the hard part with that is trying to maintain some flexibility while I'm putting all this muscle on, as well as being able to move and stay agile in the circle, because it's really a combination of strength and speed. So a lot of it has been doing the right diet in order to be able to recover after lifting so that I'm able to continue moving well in practice. And then a lot of it, especially this upcoming off season, we're going to work on a lot of just movement stuff to be able to kind of balance out all the muscle I've put on with being able to stay a little more agile.
Well, you're a big, strong guy, and Jordan, I look at the field of competition. Man, there are some big boys that you compete against. So it's a fine line between you developing your strength to stay with them, and like you said, maintaining your speed and agility.
Exactly, yeah. And just even from the NCAA perspective, this past week, I'm about 265, and the average weight of those guys is about 285 to 290. But I kind of have to look at them and realize that we don't throw the shot put the same way. Obviously, we're both trying to throw it far, but they might rely a little bit more on strength, but I have to rely a little bit more on technique and being able to get through the circle a little bit faster than them.
Well, last week, the NCAA Track and Field Championship at the University of Oregon, you placed third in the shot, 66 feet, 11 and a quarter inches, and then eighth in the hammer, 231 feet, 4 inches, named All American in both events. Great job. Hey, Jordan, you no longer throw the discus?
I do. We've put a little bit more emphasis on hammer, especially this year. It was a little bit, we put a lot more emphasis in the shot put in season just to try to get that timing back. So the discus didn't get as much attention as it might have needed, but we threw it through the conference meet, didn't throw it too well at the conference meet, threw it at the national qualifier, didn't throw it too well there either. So um, just a little bit of a down season with the discus, but the hammer did really well this year. And then the shot put, a lot of emphasis on that, just trying to get that.
So you're third in the shot and eighth, third in the shot, eighth in a hammer. Um, where do you how far away are you from where you want to be in these two events?
Shot put, still have a little bit of that recovery time. Going into next year, I think if we're able to pick up where we're leaving off now, I'd like to be national champion, obviously. Hammer, not too far off from that this upcoming year. The top two or three guys that were at the national championship all graduated. So this next year would be a good opportunity for me to try to possibly win national championships in both.
Jordan, with the Olympic trials coming up June 18th at Oregon, the Olympics are 6 weeks away. Uh, where do you feel you're going to have to be in both the shot and the hammer to make it and qualify for the Olympics? What are you looking at distance wise in both throws?
Well, I'm only throwing the shot put at the trials. I was going to try to throw both, but they're both actually being competed at the same exact time in Eugene. So I had to pick. So we're going to go with the shot put. As the timing's starting to come back around, I feel like I'm a lot closer than I was last week. So as long as I'm able to keep getting quality reps, I'm obviously going to have to throw personal best to make the Olympic team because America is very, very good in the shot put this year. But if I'm able to throw about 72 to 73 feet, that might just make the team this year.
And what has been your best throw in a shot since you've been at Arizona?
70 feet 11, I believe, is my best throw.
So you want to pick up at least 5 or 6 more feet going into this June 18th competition. You feel confident you can reach that?
Yeah, about 1 to 2 feet on top of my PR from nationals, though. Yeah, 5 to 6 feet. I wouldn't say it's out of the question with what we're seeing in training. It could be possible. It may be unlikely because of such a short time frame, but I'm not going to say it's impossible to do.
Jordan, let me ask you: all the athletes, if you make it to the Olympic trials, does everyone have to be vaccinated before you go to Japan? What have they told you?
So I don't believe you have to be vaccinated, but there's a lot and a very strict testing protocol that you have to go through. I personally am vaccinated, but even just for the trials, we have to get tested in. I'm from Tucson, so we have to get tested in Tucson um, and be able to provide a negative test before we even get on the plane. And then you have to get another test 48 hours before you compete, and that one's going to be given by the United States Track Federation. So those two tests are basically what even allows me to qualify for the trials, nonetheless, the Olympics itself. So I'm not sure if you have to be vaccinated or not, but I know there's a very strict testing protocol.
Well, Jordan, we wish you all the luck in the world, man. We're hoping you make it through these Olympic trials. We'd love to see you there in Japan in 6 weeks. Good health to you. Stay healthy and strong, and hopefully we'll have an interview after you compete in the Olympics.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. I'll be right back with Alan George.
High school sports, community events, all of your favorite local shows are calling the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel their home. Find out everything your neighborhood has to offer on Channel 100 or on YouTube. Spirit, town pride, local communities. This is the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
I'm back, joined to my right by the Swami, George Abraham, to my left, the Tiger, Albert Campman. Great to see the Knock Nest monster, Jordan Geist, healthy and getting ready for the Olympic trials, overcoming COVID and ready to go. Needs to, he said, get his shot put up to about 72 feet. He has a chance to go to Tokyo.
Yeah, one thing we know about it, he'll work for it, and he'll go after it full speed. He's always done that, and that's all you have control of, the effort you put into it, and he'll do that.
It's not only him, but you have Aiden Owens from North Allegheny at the University of Michigan, who's one of the top 5 decathletes in the world. He has a chance to go to the Olympics too.
I got a chance to see both of them perform within feet, and they're both phenoms when they were in high school. Yeah,
and the 18-year-old swimmer from Fox Chapel.
Yeah,
They look different. They look
also.
different. We talk about this all the time. You could take one look at those two dudes and know they're different from everybody else.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
All right, let's go to our spotlight. PIAA volleyball 3A boys semifinals. North Allegheny 3, Seneca Valley nothing. Listen to these scores: 25-19, 25-23, and 29-27. Seneca Valley finishes 18-4. All 4 losses to North Allegheny. Great year for the Raiders. PIAA championship. North Allegheny 3, Central Dolphin 1. Third straight title for the Tigers, their 65th straight win, their 8th PIAA title. They only trail now Landisville Hempfield with 10, but it was their 18th PIAA title match appearance. Congratulations to Coach Don Shaw and the team, WPIL and PIAA champs, and an undefeated 19-0 season.
just amazing what they do down there in volleyball. I mean, we write it down at the beginning of the year and just think it's going to happen.
Sounds like it took them, like this Hempfield had a head start. But once then they figured it out, they're coming.
They've been to 18 championships.
That's what surprised me.
Yeah. And the girls were, 22-0. So you have these two teams combined, 41-0 WPL and state champion.
You know what's really, well, no, we've done the games, and Common Sense will tell you. It's not a secondary sport for any of these kids anymore.
No.
Remember in the old days, they go, wow, he'll play basketball. And
No,
these guys are 24/7.
And by the way, next week we will have our male and female athletes of the year here with us. In the 2A PIAA Championship, Lower Dolphin 3, defending champ Meadville 1. It's the first title for Lower Dolphin. And in the PIAA 2A Boys Lacrosse Championship, Allentown Central Catholic 14, Mars 5. The first loss of the season for Mars. Allentown Central Catholic built an 8-2 halftime lead. Wes Scurry and Nick Crowley had 2 goals each for the Planets. Scurry was named Post-Gazette WPL Player of the Year. The junior finished with 88 goals for the season, 146 total points. Congratulations to Coach Bob Marcoux and his team. Great season, WPL champs. They're going to get after it again next year for that first title.
Yeah, they'll be back there again. Only thing, Allentown will be there too.
Yeah,
Central Catholic, no
Yes,
that.
yeah.
Sounds
And in the semifinal, Mars beat Bishop Shanahan 10-3. Austin Coate had 3 goals. PIAA baseball playoffs, quarterfinal 6A, North Allegheny 8, Philly Central 1. Pitcher Kyle Demme, who's 9-0. He had 4 shutout innings and 7 Ks. Danny Gallen was 3 for 3 with 4 RBI. And then in the semis, North Allegheny 3, Springford 1. Danny Gallen 2 for 2, 2 RBI, and then Draco added 2 for 3 and an RBI. The winning pitcher was Palmer, 5 1/3 innings, and that's why they saved. Demme only pitched 4 innings. They came in relief, finished with an inning and 2/3. Next up, the championship versus LaSalle College. I believe the Tigers are going for it's either their 4th or 5th state championship in baseball.
Yeah, and LaSalle's always really good, so it should be an excellent state championship game.
And in 4A quarterfinals, Newcastle 4, York 1. Kent State recruit pitcher Rocco Bernardina, 6 innings, 5 hits, 8 Ks. And Notre Dame recruit Anthony Miller finished in the 7th. And then in the semis, meeting Montour for the 4th time this year, Newcastle 3, Montour 1. And the sophomore pitcher, Anthony Miller, a 4-hitter and struck out 12. Next up, the championship, the first ever state championship game for Newcastle. They take on Wyoming area.
They'll have a big crowd. Newcastle
The
will follow,
Hurricane,
yes.
they will be there.
They went to Williamsport that night on a winter night. They're going there.
They'll take over the
Absolutely.
place. And Miller just coming up, the sophomore Notre Dame recruit. What a performance for him, striking out 12 on a
2 excellent
four-hitter.
pitchers, 2 of them.
So now Bernardino will start this championship game. In recruiting news, in soccer, Hannah Burtner, Slippery Rock High School, she will play at Westminster, and Jill Morrow of Karn City, she will play at Chatham University. Let's go to our stories of the week. Major League Baseball, the Pirates now 8 straight losses after a 3-2 loss to Washington. They are 23-42. I'm going to bring this up, guys. You give me your comments. There was a Trib article. The writer and the Pirate management says the Pirates are showing improvement this year from last year's 19-41.
Well, that's just stupidity. They think we're stupid or something. Is that you can watch them play and watch the gaffes mentally, just how they play the game. They say they're having fun. If it's fun, what's the record?
23-41.
Is that fun? And that's
42.
That's fun. So I see nothing. I went down to the Dodger game that last Thursday, first time I made my appearance. And when I saw Stallings batting 4th and Gonzalez batting 5th, they used to bat 7th and
Stallings
8th.
hitting 223.
You understand? Batting 4th.
Yeah.
That tells you, how can they say they're improved when you have a catcher, and he's doing the best he can. But he's an 8th batter in their lineup on every other team.
And the player that lost that game, they have a guy tag up on 3rd, and he watched that throw all the way to the plate. That's the first thing you learned in Little League. Put your head down and dig. You cannot run as fast if you're looking.
Well, and keep Brian Hayes in a 5-3 loss to the Dodgers. Hits a home run the first inning. Misses first base. 1, how does that happen? 2, where's your first base coach?
Well, that's your blame, and they haven't said it. I've been waiting for somebody to say it. I didn't know
The
what you were going
Dodgers
to say.
are watching it.
No, the first base coach that's his only
Right,
job.
that's what I said to him.
It's his only job is as soon as he misses, come back, hurry, Gary, get back here. That's his job.
Yeah.
And he didn't do his job.
I think he went
And once
to,
again, Shelby will say, we're still having fun, though.
Yeah,
Beer shower.
the players all said when they hired him, though, they like him.
Oh, no.
He's a player's
That's what he
coach.
said. That's that line.
Player's coach.
Puts me in misery.
No one wants to hear that crap.
Did they say that about
and
Murtaugh?
you read that stuff, and you're smarter than that. There's nothing going on down there. They're not trying to win. They don't pay anybody. And when the second baseman goes and Rodriguez goes, then you'll know.
Well, they're definitely going.
You nailed it. Now, Mitch Keller sent down to Indy 3-7, 7.04. Listen, I root for the kid, but I hear all the stuff he has, all the equipment, all the pitchers. You used to say that about Jose De Leon, but he couldn't win.
I was there. That's the day I was there, him pitching, and you cannot pitch in Little League ball 3 every batter. You cannot pitch, and so today's world of pitch count, there's no chance for him to go past 4 innings. Because he has 80 pitches in 4 innings.
And I'm going to get to that in a second here. But go ahead.
They said we put him down because he's not real good in pressure situations. You picked him number 1.
Not good. Who said that?
They did. When they set him down, they want him to relax a little bit.
And let me say this about Gregory Polanco. I had the former GM on a few years ago, and I said, when's this going to happen? You rate him as a 5-tool player. He's hitting 203 now, 5 homers, 18 RBI. He's not a 5-tool player. He's not going to get it done. This is his, 5th or 6th year? It's just not going to happen.
Well, he'd be gone if it wasn't for his contract.
Yeah.
They don't. Nobody wants to pick up
$12
his
million
contract.
That's too much. No, he is that typical long, looping left-handed swing with huge holes in it, and they know exactly where they are.
Yeah, and I saw the other day, he was just taking his good old time getting to a hit to right field, and I don't even think he thought about making a throw home on a runner scoring. July 11th is a Major League Baseball draft. The Pirates get the number 1 pick. Are you excited? I'm not excited. I know who's excited. The Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Red Sox. I want to see who the Pirates will pick. They're talking about Vandy pitchers Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker, or Louisville catcher Henry Davis, or the high school shortstop Jordan Lawler out of Dallas, Texas.
If Leiter's healthy, he's going. There's no doubt in
You
my
think they're
mind.
going to take him?
Yeah, they're taking him for sure. But now they're saying he may have a tired arm. So if he has a tired arm, then they have to
They're
make
saying that about Rukar.
Yeah, remember what happened? Why one scout told me when we were coaching. When I was coaching down at North Allegheny, he come up that Major League teams stayed away from the University of Miami pitchers. Remember, Miami was good then,
It's
but
all-
they burnt all those pitchers
Right.
out, and they did not want to
Vanderbilt
draft
doing it
those
too?
guys.
I would think Leiter's uncle would tell him to stay away from Pittsburgh.
John. Is that
No,
his
Al-
uncle?
No, the pro,
Al.
pro
Oh.
pitcher. He's on that MLB channel.
Hey, how about this move? This is what the Pirates are thinking. They're going to take 6'7" O'Neal Cruz and move him to shortstop for a look.
You can't
6'7".
feel. You can't feel that. I mean, he's already
moving
proved
to
he-
shortstop.
He's already proved he can hit. He's played there already, and they moved him back and forth outfield, shortstop. But shortstop he really struggles. So
He's the dude who hit the ball to the roller coaster up in Altoona last week. Is
he's
that
really
him?
he's really talented.
Okay.
He's
Once
hitting
again,
about 380. in
No,
his
he's a
life.
talented
You
kid.
see what that roller coaster is compared to the field?
Yeah. Why
Oh,
not
my
just move
goodness.
6'7"? Move him to first base then.
Yeah, but you
That's what
gotta-
I would do.
Yeah.
Is he another Frank Howard, 6'7"?
No, he's not that. He's not that kind of big guy.
All right, let me get to some of the stuff you were talking about, telling it like it is. This is in USA Today on June the 14th. Former Major League Baseball manager and pitching coach Brian Price coached the Reds for 4
Right.
years. I want to listen to him, what he said. He left the game for this reason. It's more than just the bat flipping that annoys him or pitchers yelling at batters after they strike them out. It's more about micromanaging the analytics and what they're doing with starting pitchers, these 4-inning pitchers. He sees more injuries coming because they're not building arm strength and these overused bullpens. And he said he's just the hitting, what they're teaching these guys is not to be good hitters. They're teaching launch angles instead of how to be a good hitter and hit the ball to all fields. He knows many others in the game feel the same way, but they're afraid to speak out because they'll lose their job. He's about preventing himself from ever getting hired again, probably.
Well, he won't get hired again. And what he did, he spoke our language. You know,
Right.
you like to read and you like to see things people talk about when you agree with it. And I agree 100% with them. We've been saying on this show for 2 years. The game has changed immensely from when I grew up. It's not even the close to the same game.
And you read between the lines what he's saying. There are a lot of people in the game today micromanaging analytics who never played, dictating to the guys who played how to. And he said he can't do it anymore.
Yeah, there's no managing going on game day. It's really when George and I talk about it, we're not kidding.
no, it's-
the night before, the general manager or the analytic guy you talk about tells the manager, now these two guys can only go 3 innings tomorrow. This guy can only go 7 pitches. They tell them ahead of time what's going to happen.
You know, growing up as a kid and then later, I got older, the Pirates were always number one for me. The Steelers were number 2. It was always the
So me
Pirates.
too, Eddie.
Never missed a Pirate game. I mean, a fanatic about the Pirates. I went to many games during the year and just enjoyed it. But that enthusiasm's
Both
left
hands up,
me.
Eddie.
And I'm going to say this about the
Both hands up.
current ownership, drafting players, what they tell, sell the team, please.
Please.
Sell the team to someone who want to increase, double that payroll. I know you're going to come in. They're one of the more profitable teams in baseball in a percentage of
He's
profit.
running it as a business.
Yeah,
That's what he
well,
does.
paid $190 million for the team, and they're worth
$2.2 billion.
Yeah, they're worth $2 billion now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, that's why a guy like Mark Cuban, he would look at $2.2 billion and say, for what?
Yeah. Now, why I said I went to a game a couple weeks ago, how beautiful it was at night.
I was there.
But I just don't want to go because of
No,
the
you-
scenery.
you know,
I can go to Niagara Falls for scenery too.
And exactly what I was going to say. It's like someone said the horses are pretty. I'll go to the stinking zoo. I want to see the race. You're going there to see a game. If you want to see a pretty picture, go to see Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yes. Now, there are Major League Baseball and its declining popularity in the U.S. The World Series ratings, just listen to this, guys. 2003, 12.8 rating, 25.4 million average viewers. 2020, the rating dropped to 5.1, 9.7 average million viewers per game. 1973, the rating for the World Series was 30.7. You had somewhere around 40-plus million watching the game. There's the decline. The average age of a Major League Baseball fan is 57. Just 7% of Major League viewers are under the age of 18.
Well, 2 thoughts. I agree on one of them and disagree with the other, Eddie. Number one, it's definitely a young person's. They can't reach the young people. That's true. I agree with that. But second, that's streaming. That whatever that. The ratings are not the same anymore because nobody watches the games on TV. We do.
Yeah.
We do. But these young kids
No, they watch them on the phone in the morning.
And they don't count.
But the thing that hurts is this: that's where the advertising is on TV.
Oh, yes.
But wait a minute. But now think about what you're saying. You just spent 5 minutes saying the Pirates are worth 10 times more than what he bought them for.
Right.
Well,
Right. But still, the popularity of the game is just
yeah, but
waning.
this is horse
That-
racing and boxing.
Yes.
They're basically old man sports now, and baseball's headed that direction. And now what they've done in Pittsburgh that was even worse, they turned off the old timers with the no cash thing.
A lot more to come from that. The French Open, Novak Djokovic won his 19th Grand Slam title. He is now one trophy away from tying the record of 20 held by Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer. He has 2 Grand Slam titles this year, halfway from a calendar Grand Slam. You know the last time that was done? By Rod Laver
Yeah.
in 1969.
You know,
I remember Labor.
there's an underlying number there. Nadal is 102-2 at the French.
Yeah.
He loses the first tell now. He's in such cardio shape that he'll lose the first 2 sets and have you where he wants you. Because he's going to keep you out there 5 hours.
Right.
Incredible cardio.
Well, I think he's going to win Wimbledon
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
lose the U.S. Open. I think there's a lot of great players that play on the hard surface.
And it gets tougher.
So that,
It
there's
gets
the
tougher
service
each
means
time.
the service.
Now, the
Yes.
service, that's why beating Nadal in the French is so big.
Yeah, so that was an upset. Yes.
And for the women, in just their 5th major tournament, Barbara
Can you pronounce these names?
Krejcikova. Krejcikova.
Now, the girls he beat,
Czechoslovakia.
the girls he
Yeah.
beat would have been tougher.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was some tough names.
Oh, there's some
she,
tough
She
names.
wins the French Open, quite an upset for her.
Yeah, she came out unranked. You know, when you win and you go into the finals, and they're thinking, she's
But
up, man.
listen, she was 32-1, but when she got to the semi, she was favored.
Oh, yeah, because there no one was left.
No. Cup 10 was gone.
Yes.
Yes. And the National Hockey League semifinals, the Islanders 2, defending champs Tampa Bay 1, and then in game 1, Las Vegas 4, Montreal 1. Marc-Andre Fleury, I watched part of that game. He's had a great playoff, 1.91 goal average.
You know what's interesting about that, Eddie, is that people were wondering why Pittsburgh got rid of Fleury. Well, don't forget, it was in the draft. It wasn't a trade. It was in the draft. Vegas was given a Stanley Cup team by the NHL's draft. All these great players, they were all available.
Seattle's
for them.
not getting
You know,
quite as rich.
And while you bring that up, some of these hypocrites who won't say it now, they said Fleury was done.
Yeah,
it was
they did.
time for him to move on.
And
no chance.
the other guy had a Stanley Cup, did he, or 2?
Yeah.
Murray, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, Eddie, it proves the Penguins weren't too bad in that series now.
Right.
It tells you the Islanders are pretty
The Islanders
good.
are pretty good. We
Yes,
said that.
Yes.
Hey, in the NBA, guys, there's some problems here. There's $6.7 billion debt. The Lakers, the defending champs, knocked out no LeBron. Now they're worried about the viewership and ratings because there's no marquee team
Oh,
there.
yeah, that's the truth. They want the Lakers there badly.
And
yes.
since 2019, you think Major League Baseball has problems all across the TV markets? The NBA's down 25%.
And I'll say it again. Are there any teams for sale?
No, that's one thing, but the other thing is you can't tell me they're not concerned about the dipping in the ratings.
Well, they had COVID. There were no fans allowed all year.
Yeah, well, yeah, you throw that 2020 out from 2019. That's where the dip's been. I'm not sure what all the answers are to all of this. I'm not into
I don't
that
think they do
marketing
either. I don't think
and
they do either.
advertising.
No, they take care of it.
They don't think either.
You know, it's
as long as ESPN and CBS and Fox and
TBS.
give them the billions of dollars, then they don't have to worry about anything.
Right, and there's so much to say about the NFL that we'll pick up next week of what's going on there and ratings and some player shifts. A lot of stuff to talk about, but we've run out of time this week. We'll see you next week when we have our Athletes of the Year with us.